I lost my job yesterday. But I'm not really surprised just because of the climate that we're in right now. I knew that it was something that was, possibly going to happen. But it's not funny, but, people are asking me, are you okay? And I am a contractor, so this is not my first rodeo. This is probably like my third time on a random Monday being laid off, and obviously it's never been because of something that I did. um just typical, just government stuff. But I say all that to say, I really want to document my journey in my 30s. I want to be able to look back on this in my 40s and just see how well I pivoted, how well I took things, how I handled things. I'm also trying to get more comfortable with change. I don't really like to change my environment or my life too much. I'm a very laid back person, so I don't really look for excitement through drastic changes in my life. But yeah, I just want to document my journeys. My journey in my 30s, because this is a very important time of my life right now. Not saying that any other time wasn't important, but it just feels a little bit different now. So yeah, I'm not devastated. I'm not breaking down or whatever. I did cry a little bit yesterday because who wants to get laid off? Nobody. So I'm just gonna do my due diligence and apply for jobs. And the quicker I land another role, the better. I would prefer remote. I'm not really into, I guess, small talk. And I know that when you're in the office, you kind of have to do that more frequently. But whatever I'm blessed with, I'll be grateful for. It's funny because last year around this time, I'm a contractor. So last year, my company lost the rebid or whatever you want to call it. So that's how I got this job. And now this one's ending in the same month that I lost my previous job. And I was telling my mom, it's so funny because in 2019, same thing happened in April. So I'm just like, I guess, spring, people say that spring is like the real new year. So I guess that this is a time in my life where I need to always be expecting change or to be creating change. So I'm going to embrace it. Another funny thing is every single time I end a relationship, soon after the job ends. But the good thing about that is I associate any breakups in my life with money. Anytime I've gone through a heartbreak or breakup, soon after I come into some money. Specifically just I'll usually end up getting a new job, a new role in my career, and it'll be, a pretty good salary jump. So that's what I'm going to associate this with. I'm going to choose to be more positive and to try to lean on being a little bit more optimistic and excited about the next opportunity instead of just being angry, being fearful. And I'm just, hoping that everything goes well. I know that I'm not the only person in this situation, and there's a lot of people in this situation. So yeah, I figured, hey, why not just document my journey? Really, I'm documenting it for myself, my future self, to look back on. But so yeah, that's the that's the most recent change. So I'm having to switch it up. I got to see what's next. And like I said, I just got out of a relationship not too long ago. So to me, it's just all it's saying is I'm moving into a new chapter. And that just happens at random times in your life. So I'm not going to resist it. I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to associate it with something positive. I know that I have the knowledge and the tools to land another role that I'm qualified for, and that's what I'm going to expect. Also, I have been considering adopting a cat, which is very scary for me because, as you all know, I do not want children. I do not want to be a mother. So I don't know how this adoption is going to go. The foster mother, she said, hey, we have a 30-day, I guess like a 30-day window where, if you realize you're allergic or maybe you don't feel like you're a good match for the cat that you adopted, you can, bring the cat back. Obviously, that's not my plan, but it does make me feel a little bit more comfortable in the case where, like she said, something just doesn't go as planned. But like I said, it's not my plan to adopt a cat and then take it right back. That's not the plan. But I just, that makes me feel a little bit less fearful, knowing that, hey, if something I just realize, hey, this is not the best choice for me right now, then I wouldn't, allow her to bond with me for even longer and then have to return her. Having to do that anyway is something I'm really trying to avoid. But I know the only way I'll really be able to get that real one-on-one time with her is, have her here at my home. So, I will keep you guys posted on that. Very, very nervous about that. I was considering just backing out completely with the adoption. But again, we're speaking about change, and that's something that I'm not a fan of. So I'm going to challenge myself and, go forward with the adoption, and we're going to see how it goes. Fingers crossed. I'm very nervous. I really don't want to sleep with my cat. That's the thing I'm nervous about, and I only wanted to adopt one at a time. I plan to have 2 cats if everything goes well. But I'm just kind of thinking about, okay, when I'm tired and when I'm ready to go to sleep, I want to get in my bed, close my eyes, and go to sleep. I know that cats get the zoomies. I know that, they're not human, so I can't control if my cat wants to jump all over the bed at night. And I personally I just don't want to have broken sleep. So I'm just wondering how things will go if I try to just, allow her to sleep in the living room area with her cat bed, her cat tree and everything. So really that's going to be the biggest concern of mine. I wonder how that's going to go. But yeah, outside of that, I just wanted to give a life update to whoever wants to watch. And for people that are also going through this, like, you are not alone. There are other people that are getting laid off. So many people, and it's very, very sad. So yeah, I will catch up with you guys next time. Guys and gals, theys and thems. See you in the next video.